What is up, you guys? Gold Pody here today in the new 2019 Chevy Tahoe, courtesy of Apple Chevrolet in York, PA. And I am in the Secret Service edition, or they should have called it that at least, because the wheels on this thing are so freaking intense. But before I get ahead of myself, as always, let's start with pricing. And so there will be several different trim levels available for the 2019 Tahoe. First one being the LS, that is going to start at $47,900. Then the LT for $52,900. And lastly, the Premier, which is the one we have today, that one is going to start at $62,600. By the way, that was pricing for the rear-wheel drive variant. If you wanted to go with the four-wheel drive version, which I would recommend in this one, simply add $3,000 to any of those prices. But so that regardless of trim level, for the most part, the power plant will be the same. Powering this beast is going to be a 5.3-liter Ecotec 3 V8 engine, putting out 355 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 383 pound-feet of torque available at 4,100 RPM. Power is again either going to be sent to the rear wheels or all wheels through a 6-speed automatic transmission. And this one is going to give you MPG numbers coming in at 16 in the city, 23 on the highway. And now I know you guys noticed this, I said for the most part, because there is an RST package available for the Tahoe, and that is actually available for the Premier trim level only, but that one is going to give you a 6.2-liter Ecotec 3 V8, putting out 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, sent to all four wheels through a 10-speed automatic, giving you a 0 to 60 time in this beast, coming in at 5.7 seconds. That is not the one we have today, but that is a pretty sick setup for this one. But regardless, I think you guys know what time it is. Let's do a quick little acceleration in this 2019 Tahoe, see how quickly it brings us up to speed here. Actually, for a bigger vehicle, this thing really pulls. It was a very nice acceleration. I am pleasantly surprised. So definitely no issues with merging onto the highway in the Tahoe. But to go along with that acceleration, braking, of course, is equally important. And so as expected, the Tahoe will come with four-wheel disc brakes. As far as the braking feel goes, it is a little bit different than most other vehicles I review. I would say it still has the same stopping power, but you do have to press down a little bit harder to bring this one to a stop. But regardless, it will still bring you to a very nice stop. And again, if you go with that RST package, there is an additional performance brake option. Because of bigger power, you do need bigger brakes. That performance brake option is going to add an additional $2,800, but that is going to give you 16.1-inch front rotors and Brembo 6-piston front caliper. So definitely a beast of a setup to go along with that power upgrade. And then to touch on the handling and the suspension of the 2019 Tahoe, the Tahoe will come standard with what's called a premium smooth ride suspension. And in addition to that, if you go with the premium trim level like we have today, you will actually get magnetic ride control, which monitors each wheel independently and adjusts the suspension every millisecond. So it is going to help reduce body roll by tightening up the suspension around heavy cornering. And also it's going to adjust each individual shock absorber to give you a smoother ride as well. So really giving you the best of both worlds on this one. And as far as the ride quality goes, I will say it definitely is quite a nice ride. But again, I do have the magnetic ride control, and I can only imagine if this one didn't have the upgraded 22-inch wheel setup on this one, it would be an even smoother ride, because of course with the larger the wheel size that you go with, you are going to feel a little bit more of the road, but still a very smooth ride on this one. And as far as the steering feel goes, it does feel quite natural. It is a little bit on a looser side, but most SUVs are, so really no issues there. When it comes to visibility, this is a giant SUV, so of course you're going to have little blind spots in the back, but what I do like about visibility in the Tahoe is that third row seating, because this is a 3-row SUV, the third row headrests actually fold down into those third row seats, so you don't have anybody in that third row. You can see so much better out the back, because if those third row headrests are up, you are simply going to be limited to that center middle area, which of course is not going to be the best visibility. But regardless, enough with the driving dynamics, you guys. Let's check out the exterior of this new 2019 Chevy Tahoe. And so let me first start by mentioning the color changes for the 2019 Tahoe. To start, there are 2 deleted colors, including Havana Metallic and Tungsten Metallic. But there is a new color, and that is going to be Shadow Gray Metallic if you were interested. But taking a look up front, you will get a black mesh front grille for the LS and LT trim levels. If you go with the Premier, you will get a front grille with chrome bars up there. Looking to the sides, halogen headlights again come with the LS and LT, and the Premier trim level is going to give you HID headlights with fog lights just below as well. Then make your way to the side on this one. Body colored, power adjustable, heated side mirrors will come standard for all trim levels. And if you go with the Premier, you will get integrated turn signals with that that as well. And zooming out a little bit, rear privacy glass, again, standard for all trims, as well as roof rails and black assist steps. That is definitely a very nice feature for this one, seeing as it does ride a little bit higher than most other SUVs. So again, every single trim level does give you black assist steps. And taking a look at the wheel setup, you will get 18-inch aluminum alloys with the LS and LT, and the Premier trim level is going to give you 20-inch aluminum alloys that come standard. And as I previously mentioned, there are actually plenty of optional wheel setups, including the 22-inch black wheels that we have today. But swinging around the back, a rear spoiler with the integrated brake light will come standard for all trim levels, as well as a rear window wiper. By the way, if you're wondering where that rear window wiper actually is, it is actually tucked up underneath the rear spoiler. So not every SUV does that. That is pretty cool. But also another new feature for 2019, if you go with the Premier, you will get new Premier trim level badging. So it's not really a feature, but it's just a little change for the 2019 model year. And just below it all, a single exhaust outlet. So as always, you guys, you know what's coming next. Here is that exhaust clip. Now, since we are around back, to open that rear hatch, there actually is a button on the key fob, so I'm just simply going to press that. But LS trim level actually is going to give you a manual liftgate. LT trim level is going to give you a power liftgate, and the Premier that we have today is going to give you a hands-free liftgate as well. And once opened up, cargo capacity is going to come in at 15.3 cubic feet behind that third row. And they are power folding seats if you go with the Premier trim level. So I'm just simply going to press this button here, and those seats are going to fold down for me. But with that third row folded down, the cubic feetness is going to come in at 51.7. And with all rows folded, 94.7 cubic feet. Definitely a good bit of space there. But also did want to mention, since this is a 3-row SUV, again, you do get tri-zone climate control standard for every trim level. So not only driver and passenger can adjust their own temperatures, but the rear passengers as well as a whole. So that is definitely pretty nice. And by the way, the ventilation on this one, it's all going to be located on the roof, so every row in the Tahoe is going to be comfortable. But now let's test out the legroom here. Third row legroom is going to come in at 24.8 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had back there. Second row legroom comes in an even 39 inches. Again, 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had. Also, for those second row passengers, they will get heated seats if you go with the Premier trim level that we have today. And moving up to the front seats, you will get cloth seating for the LS. Leather seating is going to come with the LT and Premier. And by the way, those leather seats will come heated as well. And all seats for all trim levels are going to come power adjustable. And the Premier is going to give you ventilated front seats as well. And looking forward, there is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel that will come standard on this one. It is going to come leather wrapped for all trim levels and heated on the Premier. And but so then when it comes to the startup, let me first start by showing you guys the key here. You do have your Chevy logo on the one side, and when you flip it over, lock, unlock, and those buttons to pop the rear hatch, and that center button with the circle, that is actually your remote start, which will come standard on every single trim level of this one. Definitely very nice. And when it comes to the startup, you can either press that, or with the Premier trim level only, you will get a push button start as well. So that is what I'm going to do, is simply just put my foot on the brake here and press that engine start button. And once started up, those gauges will do a full sweep. Tachometer is going to be on your left, speedometer is on your right. There is a large digital display front and center, and that digital display is very customizable. And to control what is on that, simply use the steering wheel mounted controls on the right side of the steering wheel there. But through that, you were able to see things like a digital speedometer, your average miles per gallon in any given time. There's also how many miles you have left until you hit empty, as well as tire pressure information and a couple other things. And in addition to that, there is an optional head-up display available for $850. But that is another feature I have today, projecting my digital speed up on the windshield so I don't have to take my eyes off the road. So that is definitely nice as well. But making our way to overall interior quality, there is a power sunroof that is optional on the LT and Premier trim level. That is part of a package deal, and I do have that one once again today. Wireless phone charger is going to come with the Premier trim level, and that is going to be located on that armrest between the driver and passenger. Also located on the roof here, there is a sunglass holder up top there, as well as kind of the school bus rear mirror there. So that is going to allow you to spy on the kids or passengers in the back seat. So that is definitely nice as well. And you will also get universal home home remote, aka the garage door openers, for up to 3 different garage doors on the roof here for the LT and Premier trim levels. And overall, the Premier trim level that I have today is definitely finished quite nicely. There's a lot of leather. There's some wood trim also around the center as well as on the door. So I gotta say, I'm definitely a fan. But now let's make our way to the tech display on this one. There is an 8-inch color touchscreen display for every single trim level. That display screen is going to give you Bluetooth and audio streaming as well as Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, again, for every single trim level. Factory navigation system is going to come standard with the Premier that we have today. And you can also check out weather updates if you wanted to, and your radio settings. And by the way, sound system on this one for the LS trim level is going to give you 6 speakers. LT trim level is going to give you a 9-speaker Bose sound system. And if you go with the Premier, you're going to get a 10-speaker Bose center point surround sound system. And that is the one we have today. So let's turn on the radio, see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. There is quite a ton of bass in this one. It really does feel like it's coming at you from all directions as well. Definitely a fan. I can see speakers all over the place in this one. So very nice sound system on the 2019 Tahoe. But last thing I wanted to mention on that tech display, at least, is when you do put the Tahoe in reverse, you will get a reverse camera for every single trim level, letting you know who or what is behind you, which is always going to lead me into safety. And so to start, there are front, side, and side curtain airbags. Also, there is an additional central airbag to assist with the driver and passenger not colliding with each other in the event of a collision. So that is definitely something very unique. You do not see that too often. In the back, there is latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats. Also, rear child door locks back there. There is adaptive cruise control, optional on the Premier trim level. We do have that one today. That's definitely nice. And also with the Premier standard, you're going to get lane change alert with side blind zone alert. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold.